Another video where today we'll be talking about SCP-096, otherwise known as the Shy Guy. SCP-096 is known to have object class of Euclid. Its special containment procedures include being contained in a cell that is a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter airtight steel cube at all times. Weekly checks for any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind inside SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096's presence inside the cell. Any and all photos, video, or recordings of SCP-096's likeness are strictly prohibited without approval from Dr. and O5. SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. Subject shows very little muscle mass, with preliminary analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation, with no signs of any body hair. SCP-096's jaw is known to be able to open 4 times the norm of an average human. Other facial features remain similar to an average human, with the exception of the eyes, which are also devoid of pigmentation. It is not yet known whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no signs of any higher brain functions and is not considered to be sapient. SCP-096 is normally extremely docile, with pressure sensors inside its cell indicating it spends most of the day pacing the eastern wall. However, when someone views SCP-096's face, whether it be directly, via video recording, or even a photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands, begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently. Approximately 1 to 2 minutes after the first viewing, SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed its face, who will from this point be referred to as SCP-096-1. Documented speeds have varied from 35 km/h to km per hour. It seems to depend on the distance from SCP-096-1. At this point, no known material or method can impede SCP-096's progress. The actual position of SCP-096-1 does not seem to affect SCP-096's response. It seems to have an innate sense of SCP-096-1's location. As a later note, this reaction does not occur when viewing artistic depictions. See Document 096-1. Documentation 096-1 of Experiment 096-1. Experiment 096-1 is headed by Dr. Dan. Purpose is to test SCP-096's abilities while attaining complete physical description of SCP-096. D-9031 is a 32-year-old convicted felon and former tattoo artist. D-9031 is placed inside the Bathysphere 303-8, which is then lowered to the Tonga Trench off the coast of New Zealand. Position is approximate m from SCP-096's temporary containment cell as site. The following was recorded via video surveillance inside Bathysphere 303-A, between it and Dr. Dan's control site on the New Zealand mainland. Bathysphere 303-A reaches final depth at 10,800 meters.
It stopped. Now what?
Do you feel fine? No sickness? Anything?
Ears hurt.
That should be expected. Now on your left should be a steel container. Open it and there will be a manila folder holding several photographs. Open it and describe the first photograph, please.
D-9031 complies. The camera is located so the photograph cannot be seen.
Nothing. It's an empty cell.
Thank you. Please set this photograph face down in the receptacle to your right and look at the next photograph.
This is the same cell, but there's a foot in it, I think.
Describe it, please.
It's pale and bony. Sort of creepy, actually.
Place the photographs in the receptacle face down and look at the next one.
Okay. Oh, shit!
Describe the photograph.
It's, I don't know. Some creepy-ass person.
Describe the photograph, please.
Hell, man. He's pale, has white eyes, and something fucked up is happening with his mouth. What the hell is this thing?
At this point, approximately 13:32 Standard Time, Dr. Dan and Experiment Control is notified that SCP-096 has breached containment. The fastest path to SCP-096-1 has been cleared of civilians and other image-capturing devices. And SCP-096 is now being tracked by satellites via tracking collar.
On your right, there should be another steel container. Open it.
From this point on, D-9031 is referred to SCP-096-1.
It's a pad of paper and a pencil.
Yes. Please draw a sketch of the photograph you saw.
SCP-091 mumbles an expletive and spends the next 20 minutes drawing a sketch of the photograph. At the time of completion, SCP-096 is confirmed to be KM from SCP-096-1.
I'm done.
Good. Place the drawing in the receptacle on your left and close the door.
SCP-096-1 complies, and the sketch leaves Bathysphere 303-A in a watertight buoyancy container. The other photographs are then incinerated on the onboard incinerator.
Now what?
Please stand by.
40 minutes pass. SCP-096 is now confirmed to be at SCP-096-1's position and is diving. Transponder signals end at 9,339 meters as pressure goes beyond the device's operational limits. The camera shows the bathysphere shaking slightly. From SCP-096-1's reaction, it is assumed SCP-096 is on the hull and is visible through the viewport.
Fuck. Shit. What the fuck is that?
Video and auto feed is cut from the hull of Bathysphere 303-A is breached. SCP-096 is recovered by Surface Recovery Team Foxtrot-303-A without incident. Sketch of SCP-096 is also recovered, and a quick test confirms no hostile reaction from SCP-096. Sketch is sent to Experiment Control in New Zealand, while SCP-096 is moved to permanent containing. This is the end of document 096-1. Upon arriving at SCP-096-1's location, SCP-096 will proceed to kill and SCP-096-1. 100% of cases have left no traces of SCP-096-1. SCP-096 will then sit down for several minutes before regaining its composure and becoming docile once again. It will then attempt to make its way back to its natural habitat. Doctor has also petitioned for the immediate termination of SCP-096. See Interview 096-1. Order is awaiting approval. As of now, termination order has been approved. It is to be carried out by Dr. On. See Incident 096-1-I.
Audio log from Interview 096-1. Interviewer, Doctor. Interviewed, Captain R.E.T. Former Commander of Retrieval Team Zulu A-A. Retrieval of Incident Number 096-1-A. Begin log.
Time. Research area. Information redacted. Information redacted.
It always sucks ass to get the initial retrieval, do we? You have no idea what that damn thing is capable of besides what jacked up information the field techies can scurry up. And even then, you're lucky if you get the whole story. They told us to bag and tag. They ain't tell us jack shit about not looking at the damn thing.
Could you describe the mission, please?
Yeah, sorry. We had 2 choppers, one of my team, and one on the back with the Zulu 9-B, and Dr. We spotted the target about 2 clicks north to our patrol path. I'm guessing if it wasn't facing our direction, else he would have taken out then and there.
Your report says SCP-096 didn't react to the cold. It was negative degrees Celsius.
Actually, it was negative. And yes, it does butt naked. I didn't do so much as shiver. Anyway, we landed approaching the target and Corporal ready to bag it. That's when Dr. called. I turned to answer it, and that's what saved me. The target must have turned and my whole squad saw it.
That's when SCP-096 entered an agitated and emotional state?
Yep.
From here, the interview now paused for a second before continuing.
Sorry, got to whiz for a second there.
That's alright.
Yeah, well, I never saw its face. My squad did, and they paid for it up the arse.
Can you describe a little more, please?
Yeah. It started screaming at us and crying. Not animal roaring, though. Sounded exactly like a person. Fucking creepy. It started firing when it picked up Corporal. Ripped his leg off. God, he was screaming for our help. Fuck it. Anyway, we were blowing chunks out of the target round after round. Didn't do jack shit. Almost lost it when they started. Him.
That's when you ordered the use of a AT-4 headed launcher?
Anti-tank gun. Started carrying it ever since SCP got loose. I've seen those things tear through tanks like tissue paper. Do the same thing to the target.
There was significant damage to SCP-096.
It didn't even fucking flinch. It kept tearing apart my squad, but with half its torso gone.
But it was taking damage?
If it wasn't showing it. It must have lost all its organs, all its blood, but it didn't acknowledge any of it. Sponge structure wasn't hurt at all, though. It kept tearing apart my squad.
So no structural damage? How many rounds would you say was fired at SCP-096?
At least 1,000. Our door gunner kept his GAU-19 on it for at least 20 seconds. 20 fucking seconds. That's 650 caliber rounds pumping into the thing. Might as well have been spitting at it.
This is when Zulu 9-B arrived?
Yeah, and my squad was gone. Zulu 9-B managed to get the bag over its head, and it just sat down. Got it into the chopper and got it here. I don't know how I never saw its face. Maybe God or Buddha, or whoever thought I should live. The jackass.
We have obtained an artist's depiction of SCP-096's face. Would you like to view it?
You know, after hearing that thing screams, and the screams of my men, I don't think I want to put a face to what I heard. No. Just no.
Alright. I believe we're done here. Thank you, Captain.
At this point, chairs are heard moving, and footsteps leaving the room as Captain is confirmed to have left interview room 22.
Let this be on record that I'm formally requesting SCP-096 be terminated as soon as possible.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been an SCP video. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Suggestions for future SCPs, also put in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.